Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Look, CHAMPVA is a great program, but it has its issues, we'll say. And there is a new issue that has arisen that could impact the care that those beneficiaries receive. Now, the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs is on it and put out a official, news release and is putting pressure on the VA. For those that don't know, the VA's CHAMPVA is the civil. I'm going to read it directly so I don't screw it up. The Civilian Health and Medical Program of the Department of Veterans Affairs. That's the acronym CHAMPVA. It is a health benefits program in which the Department of Veterans Affairs shares the cost of certain health care services and supplies with eligible beneficiaries. Typically, it's going to be your spouse and children and caregiver. So that is the program, and it's basically health insurance, okay? Now, hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it, and we'll jump into this. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can do so by becoming a member. It helps me to find you quicker in the comments, and you can do that by going to the homepage. You will see highlighted members, and you'll see a join button. Also, if you haven't found out yet, I did work with and create a second channel with a co-host. That co-host is from the CivDiv. That's Clay. I'm Jason, or Jay, and together it is Veterans Daily with Jay and Clay, pushing more information out to you in a more of a dialogue instead of monologue approach. We can bounce things off of each other, go back and forth, dig a little deeper, more of a long format for you, and I'd love for you to check it out. I'll put that in the comments below for you as well. All right, so let's jump back into this. So with CHAMPVA, the headline here is Tester, who is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs. So Tester presses VA to protect CHAMPVA beneficiaries' access to health care. All right, already got my attention because I have beneficiaries on CHAMPVA. So, Senator calls on VA to ensure children, spouses, and caregivers of veterans enrolled in the CHAMPVA program do not experience disruptions in care during or due to changes in how the program reimburses its providers. So, in other words, the VA changed how they're going to pay the doctors and so forth, and because they changed it, now there's some sort of a disconnect, right? So what's going to happen? The doctor's going to say, well, look, if I'm not getting paid, I can't be seeing people. So let's figure this out, VA. All right, so let's jump into it. Says here, Senate Veterans Affairs Committee Chairman John Tester is calling on the Department of Veterans Affairs to ensure children, spouses, and caregivers of veterans who receive health care through the Civilian Health and Medical Program of the Department of Veterans Affairs, CHAMPVA, do not experience disruptions in care due to the program's transition to reimburse CHAMPVA providers through electronic funds transfer, EFTs. Now, there's a quotation. I write today to express my concern with the high number of civilian health and medical program of the Department of Veterans Affairs, CHAMPVA providers who have been placed on a payment hold status due to not enrolling in electronic funds transfer, EFT. Tester wrote to the VA secretary. Approximately 76,000 CHAMPVA providers, nearly half of whom are actively providing care to CHAMPVA beneficiaries, are on payment hold. What do you think that's going to do? Moving on, the Department of Veterans Affairs must take further action to ensure these providers are aware of the requirement to enroll in EFT so that CHAMPVA beneficiaries do not experience disruptions in care. Agreed. Moving on, the CHAMPVA program provides health care to children and spouses of certain veterans, including those who were rated by the VA as permanently or totally disabled for a service-connected disability, those who died from a VA-related service-connected disability, or were rated permanently and totally disabled from a service-connected disability at the time of death, or those who died in the line of duty. Some caregivers who are approved for VA's program of compensation, for VA's program of comprehensive assistance for family caregivers, also called for CHAMPVA, are also eligible for CHAMPVA benefits. There are more than 706,000 CHAMPVA enrollees nationwide, including more than 3,500 CHAMPVA enrollees in Montana. He references Montana because he is a senator for Montana and is also the chairman of the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs. So he calls out his own state's numbers often. The senator continued, though I understand VA has been conducting outreach to some of these affected providers, it is clear there is an enormous amount of work to be done until all active CHAMPVA providers are enrolled in EFT. I strongly encourage the department to dedicate all resources necessary to ensure CHAMPVA providers enroll in EFT, thereby preventing CHAMPVA beneficiaries from experiencing any disruptions in their access to health care. Again, 100% agreed. Tester requested VA describe its efforts to conduct outreach to CHAMPVA providers on payment hold, especially in these rural areas, and to describe the barriers preventing CHAMPVA providers from enrolling in EFT. He also called on the department to describe the impact this payment hold status of many CHAMPVA providers is having on beneficiaries' access to care. A staunch advocate of bolstering CHAMPVA beneficiaries' access to earned care, Tester has long pushed for legislation to allow children of disabled veterans who receive health care under CHAMPVA to remain eligible for the program until they are 26 years old, and is fighting for the VA to allow CHAMPVA applications and medical claim documents or documentation to be submitted electronically in his Making Community Care Work for Veterans Act, which I believe I've done a video on that in the past. So please look back and try to find that. I get it. I got thousands of videos. Well, okay, I'm exaggerating. Whatever, 800 and something videos. I've done a lot, so it's hard to kind of go through. In any case, CHAMPVA is a great program. Often the way that people get enrolled into it. Now, I did read the several different ways there, but the most common probably way is once a veteran reaches that 100% permanent and total rating, then CHAMPVA opens up and you can add your spouse and dependent children. If you have a primary health insurance already for your family, then CHAMPVA will act as a secondary insurance for your family members. If you lose or terminate your primary insurance and you rely solely on CHAMPVA as your primary health insurance for your spouse and dependent children, you need to contact CHAMPVA and let them know that they are your only source of insurance for your beneficiaries, for your spouse and dependent children. That will allow you to be able to utilize it for prescriptions and so forth, which is going to be advantageous for you. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong. Even the chickens agree.